The CEO who fooled America. Inside Singapore's Orion Tech disaster. Orion Tech Capital was once hailed as the pride of Singapore's financial technology scene, a company that promised to revolutionize the way the world handled money. At the heart of it all stood Victor Tan, a charismatic CEO often compared to an Asian version of Elon Musk. His bold vision and confident speeches won the admiration of global media and inspired investors from Wall Street to Silicon Valley. Many believed he was building the foundation for a new era in digital finance. Yet as the spotlight grew brighter, whispers began to spread in the background. Some insiders hinted that the company's financial reports were being polished a little too perfectly. Former employees claimed they were pressured to stay silent about questionable practices. Meanwhile, American investors poured billions into Orion, unaware of what might truly be unfolding behind closed doors. The tension between dazzling promises and unsettling rumors created a story too dramatic to ignore. Was this the next giant leap forward for the global economy? Or was it a carefully packaged illusion waiting to collapse? The question remains open, inviting both skepticism and curiosity as the world watches Orion's every move. Orion Tech's rise was nothing short of spectacular. Within just a few years, the company moved beyond Singapore's borders and planted its flag in New York and Silicon Valley, two of the most competitive financial arenas in the world. The bold expansion made headlines, and suddenly Victor Tan was no longer just a local hero. He became an international figure, celebrated for his daring vision and ability to attract the attention of global investors. His face appeared on the cover of Forbes, framed by headlines that called him the man who would transform Singapore into the next great financial hub. For many, this was a proud moment. Singapore, a small nation, often overshadowed by larger economies, finally had a chance to take the lead in shaping the future of global finance. Crowds packed into auditoriums to hear Victor speak, and his words carried the same weight as a rock star performing for adoring fans. Every move Orion made was followed closely by bankers, entrepreneurs, and young professionals eager to be part of the company's success story. But as the excitement grew, so did the pressure. The rapid expansion required constant growth, and expectations soared higher with every new promise. Victor's vision seemed limitless, yet some wondered if the foundation beneath Orion was strong enough to support such rapid ambition. Still, the world cheered him on, eager to believe that Singapore's brightest star was destined to shine forever. The story of Orion Tech took a sharp turn when an unexpected voice emerged from inside the company. Sarah Collins, a data analyst based in New York, stumbled upon something that did not add up. At first, she thought it was a minor mistake, a few numbers that looked suspicious in the quarterly reports. But the deeper she dug, the clearer it became that these figures had not been miscalculated, they had been deliberately altered. What looked like unstoppable growth on paper was in reality far less impressive. Sarah's discovery put her in a dangerous position. When she raised her concerns quietly within the company, she was met with cold stares and subtle warnings to keep her mouth shut. The message was simple: stay silent or face consequences. For many, that might have been enough to walk away, but Sarah was not easily intimidated. She knew what she had found was more than just a clerical error. It was evidence that Orion's carefully crafted image could collapse if the truth ever came to light. Instead of backing down, she made a bold move. She began recording meetings, capturing the tense conversations between senior executives who discussed strategies to cover up the discrepancies. In one particularly heated exchange, voices revealed the pressure to maintain Orion's spotless reputation at all costs, even if it meant bending reality. With each recording, Sarah built a hidden archive of evidence, a time bomb that could expose the company's darkest secrets. Behind the glittering success story, Orion Tech was beginning to crack, and one determined whistleblower was about to challenge the myth that seemed too perfect to be real. The breaking point came with a leak that no one could ignore. Documents began circulating online, revealing that Orion Tech's glowing financial reports were not just exaggerated, they were outright fraudulent. Hundreds of millions of dollars invested by eager backers, many from the United States, had seemingly vanished without a trace. What had once been hailed as the crown jewel of Singapore's fintech revolution was suddenly being compared to one of the darkest chapters in corporate history. American headlines screamed the question on everyone's mind. Was this the Enron of Singapore? The media frenzy was unstoppable. Former employees stepped forward, confirming that numbers had been manipulated for years. Investors who once cheered Victor Tan's every word now demanded answers about where their money had gone. The empire built on charisma and grand promises was crumbling in real time, and the world was watching every shocking detail unfold. In the midst of the chaos, Victor Tan himself disappeared. Reports claimed he had fled to Dubai, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and thousands of devastated American investors staring at empty accounts. The man once praised as a visionary was now painted as a fugitive, accused of orchestrating one of the most audacious financial scandals in modern memory. For many, the fall of Orion Tech was more than just a corporate disaster. It was a harsh reminder of how easily ambition can cross the line into deception. The aftermath of Orion Tech's downfall left scars far deeper than stock charts and headlines. Across the United States, families who had invested their retirement savings into Victor Tan's dream suddenly found themselves with nothing. The promise of financial freedom had turned into sleepless nights and uncertain futures. For many, the collapse was not just about lost money, but about broken trust in a system that was supposed to protect them. Amid the chaos, one figure stood out. Sarah Collins, the analyst who refused to stay silent, was called to testify before the United States Congress. Her calm but powerful words exposed how a culture of secrecy and unchecked ambition had led to disaster. She was celebrated not just as a whistleblower, but as a symbol of integrity in an age when speaking out often comes at a heavy cost. The ripple effects were global. Singapore, embarrassed by the scandal, moved quickly to tighten financial regulations, determined not to let another Orion rise unchecked. In Washington, international investigations were launched, signaling a new era of cross-border cooperation against corporate fraud. The lesson was simple but profound. Ambition can build empires, but only transparency can keep them standing. Behind every success story lies a responsibility to tell the truth, no matter how uncomfortable. For investors, regulators, and entrepreneurs alike, Orion Tech became a lasting reminder that shining visions mean nothing if they are built on shadows.
Now the question turns to you. Imagine standing in Sarah Collins' shoes. Would you risk your career, your reputation, and even your safety to bring the truth to light? Or would you stay silent to protect yourself and keep moving forward? It is a choice that is easy to discuss from the outside, but far harder to face when the stakes are real. At the same time, there is a bigger debate that stretches far beyond one company. As American money continues to flow into ambitious Asian startups, are we witnessing innovation at its finest, or are these ventures being allowed to grow too quickly without the oversight needed to protect investors? Orion Tech may be a single story, but it raises questions about how global capital and trust are managed in today's interconnected world. This is where your voice matters. Do you believe in supporting bold global startups no matter the risk, trusting that innovation will always find a way forward? Or do you think tighter rules and stronger safeguards are the only way to prevent another disaster from repeating itself? Share your thoughts below. This is a conversation that goes beyond finance and touches the future of how we all invest, dream, and build. Personally, I find this story unbelievable. How one CEO could trick an entire nation and wipe out billions overnight. It makes me wonder, if this can happen in Singapore, could it also happen here in America? I can't wait to hear your thoughts.